Thank you, Mr. Dijsselbloem. Three things. Well, firstly, I just want to jump again to what Mr. Papadimouli said. Can we then confirm that there is a commitment by your side and by as a president of the Eurogroup that you actually defend the proposal for reinstallment of collective bargaining and to take the conclusions of the expert group into account? I mean, this is because that would be important. And do you commit to defend that towards the IMF? That is one very concrete thing I want to get an answer from you. Second thing, one of the things you discussed in the Eurogroup was the sustainability of pensions, if I'm not mistaken. Well, if we go to Greece, in the last years, the reforms concerning the labour market and the pension reform has led to a situation where before we needed 4 workers to sustain a pensioner, and now we need 10. Do you think second question, we're in the good path in Greece in order to make the pension system sustainable, taking this into account and taking into consideration that you are going to develop a benchmarking for pensions across Europe? And my third question, Mr. Dijsselbloem, regards to a statement of yours in a recent interview in Frankfurter Allgemeine Zeitung that I think has been very unfortunate and created a bit of scandal in some member states, when you said that you believe that, talking about the crisis, that one cannot spend, and talking about the relations of the North and the South, one cannot spend all the money in alcohol and women and then ask for help. I think this is an unfortunate statement. Dijsselbloem, maybe that's funny for you, but I don't think it is. And I would like to know whether this is your first statement as a candidate to renew your post as a president of the Eurogroup. Thank you.
So on the collective wage bargaining, my position is clear, and the IMF also knows it, but the talks to reach a full policy agreement on the policy package are taking place between Greece and the institutions. So that's the order of things. They will come with a full package, including labour market reform, pension reform, etc. And it needs to be so strong that it installs confidence in the Eurogroup, but also in the institutions, including the IMF. And the issue of collective wage bargaining will be part of that. But my position on that, my personal opinion on that is clear. Secondly, on the sustainability of pensions, the pension system is not sustainable. Of course, you're right. If the economy improves and the number of workers improve, that helps very much to improve the sustainability. But long term, the claim that the pension system puts on the public finances is still very, very large. And that doesn't lead us to a sustainable situation, not economically and not from a point of just the public finance sustainability. Thirdly, my remark was to make absolutely clear what solidarity means to me. So I'm a social democrat. I very much value the principle of solidarity within society, within Europe, but it must always come with commitment and an effort to do utmost what the individual or the country can do to strengthen its own position, also in social economic terms. So you must take the responsibility to abide by, for example, the fiscal framework that we have agreed. You must put in all the effort you can to strengthen your own economy. In other words, do reforms where necessary, adjustments in your economy to make sure that you are as strong as possible. And if in all of that is done and all of that responsibility is taken, then I think solidarity is very much required and should always be available. And that's the argument I made in the interview, and that's my position.
50 seconds.
No, but you apologize for saying that, or implicitly saying that the South has spent the money on women and alcohol in the last years. Would you apologize for this?
No, certainly not, and that's not what I said. By the way, it struck me that it was...
Shall I read your statement?
It struck me that it was spread in the Spanish press for some reason in that frame. What I made very explicit is that solidarity comes with strong commitment and responsibility. And otherwise solidarity will not hold. It cannot be upheld. You will not remain and maintain public support for solidarity if it doesn't come with commitment and responsibility and an effort from all sides.
I have 10 seconds just to read your statement concretely. One cannot spend all the money in drinks and women and then ask for help, talking about the Eurozone. That's your statement. Do you apologize for this?
No, certainly not. And you don't have to read my statement because I know my statement. It came from this mouth. So you don't have to read it to me. But I need you to understand that if you want to maintain public support and political support throughout the Eurozone, throughout the EU, throughout any society for solidarity, you must always also talk about what commitments and what efforts must be put in by everyone to maintain that solidarity. You may nod your head, but that is how solidarity should work and will work.